Hello and welcome to a special conversation with a very good friend of mine, our Sridhar. The point of this conversation is simple. After the 0-3 loss to New Zealand, there is a lot of negativity around. And let us face it, both of us know that the performance was not good. The performance was bad. And none of us are running away from it. We have to attack the elephant in the room, and India did not do well. Our batters did not do well. We did not play spin well. Introspection is needed. As Tendulkar tweeted yesterday, a lot of these questions are important. Having said that, India is not the first team to lose and not the last in sport either. Can India turn it around is the far bigger question that we have to address now, because 0-3 is done and dusted. Australia series is the present and the future. And that's what brings me to Sridhar. Last time round, after the Adelaide defeat, 36 all out, everyone said 4-0. Now, everyone is saying 4-0 or 5-0 or whatever. So the situation is very similar. Negativity everywhere. How did this team turn it around in 21? Ravi, Arun, Sridhar, Ajinkya, Virat, the whole gang, how did they turn it around? Virat was back after the first test, but was integral to the team and was the leader. So how did this team under Ajinkya in Melbourne turn it around when they were the coaching staff? That's the question I want to start with. What happened after 36, Sridhar, that you all were able to change the narrative, which is what India needs to do now?
To start with, there's a lot of points which are rushing into my mind listening to what you say. And I've been covering the series from close quarters for Tamil, and I've seen every ball of the series. So I'll come to that later, but I'll answer your last question first. What changed after 36 all out? It's a great question. And I think to start with, having someone as positive as Ravi Shastri in the change room really helps. He is someone who cut out the outside noise for the players and the support staff, and he himself, when there was so much trolling and negativity going around, like you said, which is now going on to the current support staff, he just cut out the noise, which I'm sure the current crop is doing as well, and focused on the strengths of the team. It was not just about getting 36 all out. It was also about Virat Kohli leaving the team, Mohammad Shami getting injured, and a few of stuff like that. But the fact that Jadeja was fit for the second test at Melbourne, and also the fact that we brought in Rishabh Pant for the Melbourne test, getting two left-handers into that middle order really helped. As we all knew that Pat Cummins didn't really enjoy bowling to left-handers. But going into Adelaide test, we had 11 right-handers in the playing 11. Well, that's the technical side of it. But from the mental side of it, I think, like you all know, it's already been documented well enough that the night of 36 all out, we just chilled it out in our room. We had some serious conversations as to how to take Indian cricket forward. The next day, we had a great chilled out party, team get together where we played a lot of team sports, team building activities were done, and it just lightened the group a little bit mentally. And make no mistake, and do remember it was during the COVID times, that series, so we didn't have much chance to go out and do some activities. So everything had to be done within the hotel premises itself. And I think the staff, the logistic staff, and all the coaches put together a lovely team get together, and it just brought the team together, and the inhibitions were gone. But one thing was for sure, what Ravi said, like it's already documented, like I said, he said, wear this like a badge because this is what will make this team better. And it did. And we knew that one spell of bowling from Josh Hazlewood doesn't make us a bad team. Hazlewood bowled at one spell where he could do nothing wrong. And also the fact that there were no bad shots in that particular collapse. There's one very good catch Usman Khwaja took off Virat Kohli at Gully. Outside of that, it was all caught behinds, nick-offs where the batters could not do anything. It was purely sensational pink ball bowling. So we, having recognized that, we said that, well, this is not going to happen every time when Hazlewood or Stark get the ball in hand. Things will change. Let's make some tactical decisions. So we brought in two left-handers. We went in with 5 bowlers in the next game in Melbourne. With Jadeja coming in, we had a proper frontline bowler in the attack as well. We gave Siraj and Shubman Gill a debut because Virat was leaving and Shami was injured. Gill and Siraj got their debuts. It brought in new energy in the team as well. and Australia won the toss and were a little cocky to take batting on a pitch that was slightly damp. Uh, Complacency, you can say, or cockiness, or whatever you want to call it, call it. And the minute Australia chose to bat first, Ravi Shastri was sure that we are going to win the match. And the positivity from him was flowing, because he came and asked me. I was giving catches to Shardul Thakur. He came and asked me, when is the last time Australia won the toss, chosen to bat, and lost for the Boxing Day test? I didn't have the answer, but yeah, I mean that means he had that thought in his mind. So he said to this team that, one spell of fast bowling doesn't make you a bad team. Give credit to Josh Hazelwood for that spell, and then let's move on. And you guys are top class, top notch bunch. You've been number one in world cricket for so many years, and last 5 years we won the Test maze, and nothing takes it away from this team. These are top bunch, and he gave and infused steel. He's someone who always infused steel into the team, and he infused that, and we were there as part of it. We did our part in doing that, and yeah, as they say, the rest is history.
Absolutely fascinating. Still gives me goosebumps when I talk to you about it. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times. But tell me something. You mentioned Virat Kohli. It's his birthday, by the way. This interview is being aired on his birthday, 5th of November. You've been with that guy. I mean, I'm backing Virat Kohli to turn things around. On his birthday, one final rediscovery Tendulkar did in 2010. Kohli is a champion. I'm not comparing anyone with Tendulkar. Tendulkar is different, but Kohli is a champion, has had great stuff in Australia. 2014, even in his debut series. If you see Perth, that is when Virat Kohli found his mojo, 75. Then that Adelaide 100. Then the transformation happened, 2014 400s. 2018 captain, won that series. You have sort of spent so many years with that guy mentally. I'm kind of backing Virat Kohli to turn things around. Your thoughts?
I mean, I'm a huge Virat Kohli fan, and I would like to wish him a very, very happy birthday on air. And there's only one wish which I've always had for him, and I've told this to him multiple times. Let the child in you always be alive. Keep the child in you alive, Virat Kohli, because that is your strength. And you always see Virat Kohli, the child in him, while he's playing the sport, because as a child, when he played the sport, he enjoyed it. So keep the child in you alive, and there's no better place in Australia for Virat Kohli to, come back and make this an absolute fairy tale for India, because he loves those conditions. He thrives in those conditions. He loves a fight, and that is Virat Kohli. And India need him now more than ever. And I think you're going to see the best of Virat Kohli in Australia. I'm sure you're going to see the best of Virat Kohli in Australia. Virat Kohli, beast mode in Australia.
Excellent. I mean, I think all of India will take heart from that. The other fellow who will have to do the job, Sridhar, is Rohit Sharma. Rohit went there in that 2021 series, spent days in hard quarantine. And I asked him, you will straight away jump into the test match. Are you not scared? And he said to me, I'm willing to sort of fail for India if I get the opportunity to play test match cricket. So what? This is an opportunity. I'll take it. That kind of defined Rohit Sharma. According to me, and I've written this, I think Rohit is not trusting his defensive technique. From ball one, he's trying to play his white ball cricket into red ball. Rohit too needs to self-discover. Again, someone who has mentally done that in the past. Look at his 2021 record when you were there with the team. In England, he was India's best batter. Thoughts on Rohit Sharma and what he can do? And again, as leader, it will be massive to do an Ajinkya Rahane. He will have to do that for India to come good in Australia. Your thoughts?
Rohit Sharma's leadership credibilities have never been in question. One of the best leaders India, has been fortunate to have, as has been in history. He's doing his part in continuing with that legacy. You spoke about that England tour in 2021. I vividly remember we had a 15-day camp in Durham before the Test series, and Rowe worked very, very hard on his technique. He worked extremely hard on his top hand, keeping his bat close to the body and aligning all his levers towards the oncoming ball and hitting it as straight as possible, the downswing in line of the ball. That's something he worked very, very hard on during that 15-day camp in Durham. I remember feeding a lot to him. I remember him having multiple sessions in a day trying to work on the technique, and having those conversations with then batting coach Vikram Rathore and then Ravi Bhai. And he was a success in that tour. He was a revelation, the way he batted. was $1 million. I'm sure Rohit's got time now. He's going to spend time reflecting on his Indian summer, or whatever you call it, last 10 innings, and he's going to come up with a plan. He's got enough experience. He's a very smart bloke, shrewd cricketing brain. I'm sure he'll come up with a plan how to work and how to score runs, and just not score runs in means how to stay on the pitch, how to trust his game a little more for the Australian tour. So he's going to work very hard on it because it's worked for him. Hard work sits well on Rohit Sharma, and he's someone who doesn't shirk from it, because I've seen it with my eyes. I've had the ringside view of him working hard. So I'm sure he's going to go back to the drawing board, work hard on his technique, watch videos of his previous performances in Australia or against the new ball. The Kookaburra ball especially will, I think, suit him a lot more than the Dukes or the SG. So I think Rohit Sharma, whichever match he plays or whenever he's available to play in Australia, will have a big impact.
What is the right time? Walk when it's great to crawl. Play when it's great to write. What is the right time? To be a born talent. To be a future champion. To walk alone. Playing under 16 at 12. Facing 20,000 balls with a half-grown spine. What is the right time? Too little to be selected. Too talented to be rejected. The papers, selectors all asking, what is the right time? The right time is when you do it. They say you're too young to play, but you're always old enough to dream.
Don't worry about what the future will look like. Just prepare for it. Fearless plans from Aegis Federal Life Insurance help you and your family prepare for the future.
The other point, that Rohit might not be available for the first match. Yesterday at the press conference, he said that let's not get into why, family issues, whatever issues, he might not be there for one game. And that brings me to the question, again, very similar, 2021 and now. All of a sudden, you have a very inexperienced fast bowling attack, no Shami. So Bumrah will have to lead. So Bumrah, Akashdeep, Siraj, yes, mature now, but some of the others, Prasid and whoever is there, again, very, very similar, very similar. How do you reckon this? I mean, when that Gaba match happened, no Bumrah, no Shami, nobody, and all of a sudden a Natarajan, a Shardul Thakur and a Mohammad Siraj becomes who they are. Boys become men. That's what needs now. Bumrah will obviously be the Bumrah and he will lead. But your thoughts, can an inexperienced attack do the job? Because again, the narrative has started in Australia. They are licking their lips. This is a bad India. India is down and out. Oh, 4-0. The same narrative has started again. Your thoughts on that?
Doesn't matter, Boria, because before the start of this New Zealand series, which we lost yesterday, I said 3-0. On television, on air, I said India will win this series 3-0. And and see what happened. We lost 0-3. So these narratives don't matter. Everybody wrote off New Zealand after they lost to Sri Lanka. But look what happened. When we got all out for 36, everybody wrote us off. What happened? What happened to the New Zealand women's team coming into the World Cup, which they just won? They had lost 13 matches on the trot. What happened? They won the World Cup. So all these narratives don't matter. All these experts, they're only saying their point of view. Like I said, my point of view, and now I'm hitting an humble pie, thanks to Tom Latham and his group of men. They don't matter because that is just for consumption. What really matters is those 11 guys on that given day, how they go out and how much they believe in themselves and how they play for each other and how they play for the country. That is what matters. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. That is the caption I'm going to give for this Indian team, which goes to Australia. Nothing else matters. Because those 11, that group, plus the management, plus the staff, who are going to be on that flight, only them matter. For the team, nothing else matters. How they're going to play the cricket is what's going to matter. So the narratives can go on all platforms, on all medias. Doesn't matter. If the team goes there out and believes themselves at the Optus Stadium on November 22nd, we have seen history happening before and anything can happen. Magic can happen.
Last couple of questions before I let you go. One, very, very important, and this is your forte, will be slip catching and fielding. Because there will be edges, there will be chances. You've got to grab them. In this particular series, at least in the second test, we did see a few drops. we did see that impact India. We did see hard hands coming in. We did see some problems there. I remember you telling me how you transformed Pant into a better wicketkeeper, how you train specially with Pant, and now look at Pant. He's perhaps the best red ball batter that India has, asset as far as wicketkeeper batter. So one thought on Pant, and is Rishabh Pant now India's go-to man as red ball batter and keeper? Question number one. Question number two on fielding. What is special that you need to do to be successful in Australian conditions as a fielding team, especially with your slip catching? Final two questions.
Oh, on Pant, we can go on and on, like I said, but I'm so happy that he's become such an integral part, especially after the comeback. I think now Pant is unfazed by pressure, and I would put that down to the accident which happened. Maybe even the biggest of pressures on the cricket pitch is nothing to him compared to being in that burning car. I mean, so for him, every second from then on is a bonus, like he himself had quoted, and he's going to just be himself in whatever he does, and that's helping him. So Pant is India's go-to player under pressure because he doesn't feel the pressure. He's insulated because he knows how thankful and how grateful he is to be in that situation and to God. So he doesn't feel the pressure, and that is the way Rishabh Pant is playing, and everybody cannot put themselves there because they have not experienced what he has experienced. So Pant, even before the mishap, he was India's red ball go-to player under pressure. He's been what you call him India's savior on many occasions, be it Gabba, be it Ahmedabad, be it Cape Town, be it Nottingham, or be it Oval, or you name it. He's pulled India out of the woods time and again in red ball format. So that is something we should be proud of. And not just with his skill, just with his personality, with the vibe he brings to the team. He's such an integral part of this team. And in Australia, he's big. He's big. I remember that advert ICC had made for the 2022 T20 World Cup. The Pant towering over the Sydney Opera House. He's going to tower in this series over everybody else. And India need him to tower and play those same kind of shots he played against Nathan Lyon as he did in Sydney and at the Gabba on the last occasion. So his inclusion and him being there is so crucial for India's result out there. And Australia is relatively an easy country to field as compared to India and England. Especially slip catching, you're standing at a good distance, ball comes comfortable. Kookaburra ball doesn't wobble a lot as compared to an SG ball or a Duke's ball. So just that is a little harder, needs some getting used to in terms of hitting the hand. Apart from that, and the other thing only which can be an issue in Australia is the light. It's too bright. It can get too bright. Obviously, sunglasses help. Unlike India or in England. England is a beautiful light to field, or bat. So Australia can be too bright. So that's the only challenge. Otherwise, it's a lovely country to field. The grounds are great, beautiful. The only concern for me is the batter's form. If the team is in a good space mentally, the catching will be good. But if the team is not in a good space, if they are under pressure, if they are losing, you may see some inconsistency in catching. Because the batters standing in slips, maybe thinking about their own form, maybe thinking about, how do I retain my place in the team? Maybe thinking about, their batters are batting so well. Why am I not able to score? So many thoughts will be going on in a batter's mind, even when they are not batting. But if the batters are doing well and the team is doing well, we have a settled slip cordon. I can see no problem with that because we have some good slip catchers in Jaiswal, KL Rahul. I'm sure will get to play in Australia. In the absence of Rohit, he may as well open. You never know. Yeah. So, instead of putting a rookie out there, you might as well go in with KL Rahul, who's opened before in Australia. And then you have Virat, you so need him in Australia. And then, there's so many good slip fielders, Rohit, Virat, Gill is going to be there as well, and Jaiswal now. So I think the slip cordon is sorted as such. But they just need to be in good space. That's the key to be a good fielding unit.
I'm actually backing KL Rahul to open in Australia in the absence of Rohit. You have to go in with KL Rahul and not a rookie like an Ishwaran or whoever in part. No, you have to go in with the KL Rahul. Someone who can get 100 in South Africa and get 100 in England and score runs in Australia is your go-to. He's got to.
Yeah, I think it's fair for us to think like that, but we also have to think from KL Rahul's point of view. It's very unfair for him to be kicked around the batting order as and when the team needs. But he's someone who does the dirty job. He's got that temperament and the mentality. So I think that will be a conversation with the team management will surely have with KL at some point. I don't know when, but it depends on KL's response. But I do hope that he says an S because he's equipped to open.
Yeah, because he's got the technique. He's played the new ball. He's done that multiple times. And look, ultimately, you need to do stand up for your team, and that's what it is all about. Finally,
and I think he will.
Even I think he will. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I see KL Rahul in the absence of Rohit Sharma walking out with Jaiswal to open.
And
Finally,
what if he gets 100?
Job done. And that's what happens, right? That's what happens under adversity. If you can do that in all of India, you're a hero. Because I always say these are opportunities. And if you're a performer, grab that up. It can be the make and make of KL Rahul. That the real story of the series could all be KL Rahul if he gets that 100 and takes off from there. Happens.
10 years ago, he made his debut in Australia. He batted at 4 and got 100 on debut.
So finally, if you extrapolate yourself, Sridhar, from commentary to that dressing room again, what's the thought? What would you have said to the boys?
I think now is the time to support them, give them a lot of comfort. Things don't. I mean, every time you make a decision, it doesn't go for you. As a captain, as a coach, as management, we take hundreds of decisions every day from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed. Because, just being a coach of the Indian cricket team or a captain of the Indian cricket team is one of the most strenuous jobs in sport, like an England football team or a Brazilian football team, or being part of a Formula One team for Ferrari or Red Bull. It's so difficult. So you take decisions. It doesn't come out sometimes. It doesn't mean that everything is going totally wrong. Yes, 3-0 is a bit of a wake-up call, big wake-up call for us. There will be some meetings. There will be some changes made to the way we approach Test match cricket in India, but for the good. And because the only thing that is constant is change. So not in terms of personal, in terms of the way we prepare, in terms of our domestic structure, we could obviously consider a lot of things. I mean, I'm just thinking what comes on top of my mind. So I remember when we lost to Australia and England 4-0, 4-0, 0-4 back in 2011, there was a change. 4 grass for domestic cricket was made mandatory. Then we saw a lot of fast bowlers coming through, which helped us go to Sena countries and win cricket series. So maybe there could be a change, something like that, help our batters better equipped for the spinning ball as well as the moving ball. So, which is good. Everything happens for the good. So this is also for the good of Indian cricket.
I'll let you go there because this has been a very kind of look forward positive interview, moving away from the negativity, which is what it was meant for, to try and find solutions, to try and figure out what is the way forward for Indian cricket, because 0-3 is done and dusted. It's done, fast, finished. You can't do anything about it, how much you shout.
Leave it in the Arabian Sea. Leave it in the Arabian Sea and cross the ocean.
Brazil lost 7-1 at home. Brazilian football did not come to an end.
Yes.
They lost 7-1 at home in a World Cup match. It did not come to an end. Brazil did not come to an end. They still play football and still are one of the best teams in the world. Messi decided to retire, decided to come back and win the World Cup for Argentina. That is the story of sport. I leave it at that. Sridhar. Once again, all of us wishing Virat Kohli a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Virat.
Yes. And thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you joining. Thank you so much.